welcome to Virtual Vegfest Live Morning Edition. If you know me, I'm a fan of mornings. So I'm tired and I prefer, this 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. range of going live. But hey, let's do this. Let's say thank you to Revolution Gelato for sponsoring our live talks this month. And the month is almost over. And what does that mean? It means you have just a few more days to enter our contest. So you want to go to virtualvegfest.com, shop our vendors, and get the contest tab, and you'll get entered to win one of 7 prize packs from Hodo Foods, Crofters Organics, Follow Your Heart, or Gain, Cinnaholic, Shroom Meats, nope, not Shroom Meats, Revolution Gelato, and Terraseed. Those are our 7. Those are our 7 that you can win prizes. No one else gives away prizes like this every month. So go, just go there. Enter. You can do things like subscribe to Virtual Vegfest on YouTube and get 25 entries. And you got a couple more days. And then we start again next month with a whole new contest with at least 7 prize packs, which is awesome. Plus, we have our in-person events where we're giving away tons of prizes just for making donations or for showing up. So that's pretty much, what we're doing. So today, Ryan may pop in. We're waiting for him to show up. So I just went and grabbed Mike because we can talk Wild Earth, we can talk Vegfest, we can talk global sponsor, we can talk about dogs, we could talk about pretty much anything for like the next half hour. So, but we want first and foremost for you to understand who Wild Earth is, what they are, what do they do, and hopefully we're hoping, fingers crossed, that Ryan will pop in and you'll get to meet him too, because he's the one that was on Shark Tank. So let me go grab Mike. Let's put him in. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hey, how's it going, Helene? Hey, everybody online. How's everybody doing?
It's good. Thank you for jumping in, and hopefully we'll hear back from Ryan and he will pop in on the link just like you did and swap or 3-way. So it'll be great. So first, Wild Earth. Now, the name, as you know, because we like to post, I love the logo, but we also like to post pictures. There we go. Yep, there's the logo. Because Mike is, he might not have founded Wild Earth, but Mike is Wild Earth. He eats, breathes, and lives Wild Earth, and
Yeah.
and eats the treats because you can. They're human grade for your pets, for your dogs. And my cat likes it too. And I gave my cat one.
Yeah,
So my
that's
cat
the
was
crazy
interested.
part. That's the crazy part. And it's not so crazy. So when you think about your little fur babies and you want to treat them right, and you look at some of the conventional pet food and you're like, a little bit of mystery meat in there. I'm not sure what I'm actually giving my fur baby. So we took real whole plants and just made it into treats and kibble and supplements. And we believe in it so much so that on Shark Tank, we actually got all the sharks to eat the treats on the show. And we got Mark Cuban to invest $500,000 for 10%. And it blew us up. To be quite honest, we hit our 230,000th order last week. So from a small startup in Berkeley, we now have our CEO, Ryan, who lives in Durham. So we now have 2 headquarters, one in Berkeley, one in Durham. And so we're just really trying to blow it up, doing events, Vegfest, like Helene's talking about, some markets, some festivals. If you you can't miss me. I'm 6'7", wearing the Wild Earth shirt, so you'll see me around all over the triangle. So
Not just there, other states. You can't miss Mike. And a few reasons why you can't miss Mike. Not just the fact that he's tall, right? And is a good looking guy, right? You can see him, but his personality. Like they hit the gold mine when they hired Mike. And look who we get to add. Look, Ryan's here, yay.
hey, Ryan's here.
Helene, hey,
Hey.
sorry, Mike. Hey, Helene. Sorry for the delay.
No, that's okay because Mike being Mike, we're just talking Wild Earth and Vegfest and how lucky and fortunate you guys are that you found him or he found
We
you.
are very fortunate. We are very fortunate. We love how mission driven Mike is and how just driven in general. That's actually one of our core values at Wild Earth. I think, Mike, you're driven, wild, curious, right? Like all of our core values, Mike hits them. So
The whole gambit, but it's fun.
Wild is another one, right? You're pretty wild, Mike, right?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's in our name. We have to have it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was just thinking because he's just approachable, at the events. You're not like, oh, I don't want to go near that booth. It's like, oh, no, come on over, especially if it's a dog friendly event. But if it's not, there's always communication going on, just so you know, because I'm there. So you can see it. There's always the communication of, hey, do you have any pets at home? Like, come on over. You're interested in, like, because, we'll give you a bag of treats. It's $5. You get a bag shipped to you. You don't have to lug it around the event, except for this bag of treats, which you can probably put in the bag you got, which we gave out if you're the first 200 people. So it's like, it's a win-win. And we really appreciate the fact that you're part of our events this year. I mean, it's a big deal because we're obviously, there's 3 dogs in this house. So, and they love the treats. I'm almost out. So.
We're very excited to be part of the community as well, right? Across the South, like all the veg events, I think that's something that's, for us, it's very special that we can be part of it and part of the community as well. And, one of the things that I think we're still very early in this process is that a lot of like vegans and vegetarians and people are just kind of open to plant-based products still are not aware that dogs can actually be plant-based, right? There's like this misconception that dogs are actually carnivores when they're actually omnivores like us. I mean, anyone that has a dog knows that most dogs will eat pretty much anything. My dog lady, she'll, if there's anything on the floor, she'll scoop it up. But they can be plant-based, and it's actually really great for them from a health perspective, right? Like, I think many of us have seen the health improvements. I mean, my dog, she's 12, nearly 13 years old, and she's in great shape. And she's been plant-based as long as we've adopted her. And, I think that, a lot of pet parents, I mean, I'm assuming you've kind of had the same experience, right? Like having your dogs for, your 3 dogs, it's really great to keep them healthier for longer. Because when they start to get older, it's tough, right? Like it's, they start to have problems with walking and things. I've had dogs my whole life. And so it's always sad when you kind of see them starting to have some real problems. And so if we can keep them healthier for longer, it's even better.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Because the human issues that we have from the foods that we consume are in our pets. They're in the cats, they're in the dogs. Why do you think like cancer and diabetes and all these issues are happening? Tumors are happening in our fur kids. It's awful. It's because of the food that we're feeding them. And we can do better, because if we put in healthier foods into their bodies, that means we're treating their bodies like we want to treat ours, or at least I hope you want to treat yours.
Well, think like if you wouldn't eat it, why would they? That's kind of like our mission, right?
Yeah.
And then look at Bramble, the dog that's the longest Guinness World Record, over 25. What's the secret?
I think she was 27 years old, Mike. Bramble lived to 27 years of age.
Yeah, Border Collie that was the secret. They were plant-based.
A lot of broccoli, right? Didn't they feed that dog?
Yeah, a lot
broccoli?
of vegetables, rice, lentils, and yeast. That was so basically she would have rice, lentils, and yeast, and then some lots of veggies. That was her diet. It's kind of incredible.
That is incredible. It sounds like a familiar recipe.
Yeah, it sounds tasty, right? Like honestly, I was just over in Daharani over in Cary. They actually have a fully vegan menu, by the way. So you can actually ask for the vegan menu in Cary. And so I love dal. Anything with lentils and rice, I'm in. And so it's kind of amazing that dogs can enjoy that too, right?
with less spices.
with less spices. Yeah,
a really bland version.
They can't be spicy unless you want a mess in your house. I agree.
So Ryan, this is the first time I actually get to talk to you live, because I've spoken to you in person. Can you tell us more about you and how this all happened? Your experience on Shark Tank, like the whole thing.
Yeah. So I used to run a biotech accelerator in San Francisco, and we're doing a bunch of really great stuff in the future of food for us, right? For humans. A lot of plant-based companies and some more futuristic stuff like cell-based meat, replacing the use of animals with like kind of lab-grown meat and things, very biotech-y. But I myself am plant-based. I've been vegan for, I used to say 10 years, but I think it's closer to like 12 years now. So it's been a while. It might be longer than 12 years. And I was really struggling with like trying to figure out, like, I've had animals my whole life, and I'm like, I'm just not happy with the food that we get to feed them. And I kind of became obsessed with, we have all these great plant-based options for humans. Like, what about our pets? And there were some great plant-based pet food companies, but they were kind of smaller. I wouldn't say they were necessarily the most innovative companies. They've been around for a while, and it was honestly, I had some challenges actually getting products, right? Like actually getting them delivered to my house, or often would stock out some of the products that I would use. And so I was like, there's got to be like a better way. Like, why don't we have like a really cutting edge plant-based company that's really focused on the latest findings and insights on nutrition and things like that. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. I kept trying to convince other people to start this company. So I spent about a year trying to convince other people to start like a plant-based pet food company, because I was like, I'm not the right person. Like, I have no experience in the pet food industry. I understand human food and human medicine, but not pet food. And then I realized, like, sometimes, when you're in these situations where you're just so, the more I started to look into it, the more broken I realized that the pet food industry was, like, truly, truly broken, right? And I could no longer support it. Like many other people, I bought Royal Canin, I bought Blue Buffalo in the past. I was like, it doesn't really, what does it hurt? But the more I looked into it, it actually hurts a lot. Like 25 to 30% of the meat that we consume in the US, of the total meat we consume in the US, goes to our pets. And that was like a shocking statistic to me, because I thought that, the dogs and cats eat what's left over from the human meat process. So it's just like waste. It's not waste. It is literally like 25 to 30% of the factory farms are run to feed our pets. And obviously the negatives, environmental and suffering that goes on. I'm a vegan first and foremost for the animals, and then the environment and ourselves and our health afterwards. But it was just so shocking to me, and I was like, oh my God! And now it's going global, right? Like, we love our pets. By the way, the rest of the world loves that we love our pets. They love pets too, and they're getting more pets. And so I was like, who's going to feed the next 500 million to billion dogs and cats that are going to be on this planet? How are we going to do it sustainably? Like, we don't have enough Amazon rainforests, right? Like, we can't burn what's left down. We can't risk it already. And so I was like, I think I have to do this. And so, I left my job, started Wild Earth, just with an idea. And it's been a 4-year journey, really making products from the ground up, and really working with veterinarians, veterinarian nutritionists, food that I feel comfortable feeding my own dog. I wouldn't feed food unless I felt comfortable feeding my own dog. And in fact, I wouldn't feed any dog food or any pet food unless I was willing to eat it myself, from a health and safety perspective.
That's awesome. One second. Janice has a question. Now, this actually comes up a lot. I've seen it in social media. One of my dogs likes Wild Earth, but the other is not as fond. Can you recommend an enticing veggie or other item to mix in that complements the nutrition in my food? My dogs do like veggies, like green beans, carrots.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let Janice know a little secret. So I have a very picky dog, and she will eat her Wild Earth if I just give her like dry Wild Earth. But some dogs, they like wet food, and so my dog loves anything wet. Lady. And so what I do is I put a little pumpkin. So I have canned pumpkin, and I just put a little pumpkin. She loves it. Like, if I put a little pumpkin on top of her Wild Earth, she'll eat the whole Wild Earth. If I put Wild Earth there dry, then she'll eat it. She'll kind of come back and eat a little bit. And so there's definitely lots of great things. Mike, I know you've talked to lots of people. What are your thoughts on?
Pumpkin's perfect for fall too. It's pumpkin spice season, so there you go.
It is. I love pumpkin. I just absolutely love pumpkin in every form, right?
Yeah. No, when I was on the customer success side, there was a lot of interaction on. I even said, folks, hop on Google. There's a lot of tips and tricks. Like, some folks would put the kibble in the oven, knowing the oven was off, but setting the timer, so that the dog builds this anticipation of like, oh, I'm about to eat this like yummy baked treat. It's not baking, it's off. But when the alarm goes off, this dog is like pouncing on all fours, like, I'm so ready to eat this same kibble. So they don't know, but like, it builds that excitement. So And then for dogs that it doesn't work that way, a little bit of Wild Earth is better than none. So mix it in with whatever they do like, and that way they're at least getting partially some good stuff in there as well. So.
And maybe just to add to that, so we only currently have one flavor of Wild Earth, but my co-founder of Brill, she is working hard at making new flavors. So we raised some additional money, which is really great, and that basically means more flavors, more products, more options for pet parents. And so we're working on new flavors, we're working on puppy, and we're working on actually some cat options, hopefully for next year. Which is really great. So cats, even more controversial because cats are actually carnivores, but we know we can make great products that have the right supplementation to make sure they get all the nutrients they need as well.
Oh, that's incredible. Have you thought about going to the wet food?
Yeah. So we're actually for cats. So for cats specifically, we know that cats are very picky, and so we know that cats actually, most cat parents, they feed both wet and dry. And so we're developing, cats are very
I have 2 cats that get wet and dry food.
Yeah, there we go. And they'll sample it throughout the day, and they have their own personalities. I think cats are even more full of personality than dogs when it comes to eating. And so we are aware of that challenge. And so we came out first very specifically with a plant-based dog food because, dogs are omnivores. It's a much easier story. It's a much easier conversation to have. But we're working on the I would say plant-based plus nutrition for cats, right? Which is, we know that they're carnivores. They're missing certain things that they can't synthesize themselves, like taurine and arachidonic acid. And so we are going to be adding those into the products. And obviously we're going to be really focused on, in all of our products, health and safety and nutrition. And so none of our products, like, we won't release a product that is not nutritionally complete, 100% nutritionally complete. And so all of our dog food products are in the food space. Obviously treats and supplements are not nutritionally complete, but the food is. And so we'd be doing the same thing for cats too.
Yeah, that'd be pretty amazing and really controversial.
Super controversial,
super
controversial. Like, we've talked about it and people are like, plant-based cat food, that's impossible. And it's like, no, actually the science is pretty clear. But yes, cats are carnivores. And so you kind of have to go down this rabbit hole of like, what is an omnivore? What's a herbivore? What's a carnivore? And it's actually, to me, it's actually, as I'm a biologist, it's actually fascinating. So cats, the reason that they don't synthesize their own taurine is because they get it from flesh. They get it from meat, right? They get it from animal proteins. And so dogs and us, we synthesize our own taurine. But taurine, we make it regularly. So if you've ever had a Red Bull, or like, it's in Red Bull and some other drinks and things. So it's essentially an amino acid that cats, from an evolutionary perspective, lost the ability to synthesize because they no longer needed it because they were getting so much taurine from their food, the mice or the birds or whatever it was they were eating, that they didn't need to synthesize it. So from an evolutionary perspective, they lost that ability. And so for us, we know we can supplement that, still give them the nutrients they require, but just be very aware of that. There are a few other things with cats, like the pH of their food is really important, and some other things that veterinary nutritionists and nutritionists know are really important for cats. And that's why we're going to take our time with the cat products. But with the dog food product, we even we try not to just meet the minimum nutritional requirements. We really are food by pet parents for pet parents. And so everything that you would like to have in your food, I would like to have for my dog Lady, goes into our food. So omega-3s and 6s, right, which is really good for skin and coat and for the brain as well. We supplement with taurine as well. We have prebiotic fibers, right? None of these things are required by the regulatory body for the pet food industry, but we go above and beyond, and we add 21st century science into the Wild Earth products, and we want to add more, right? So we've started to do some research on longevity as well, so dog longevity, and we're going to be looking at the microbiome of dogs to see how we can help dogs. There is a difference, we believe, between the microbiome of long-lived healthy dogs and the microbiome of dogs who are maybe not so healthy, maybe have digestive issues, GI issues. We think that by understanding that, and this is really science and research that we're going to be doing, And we basically just kind of look at different poops and then compare the poops, the bacteria in the poops. But we think we can figure out how to actually help all of our dogs live longer, healthier lives through analyzing their microbiome and the bacterial colonies within them.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for the science lesson, because I'm
Well,
not a science
I have to
person.
be careful. Mike might have to pull me back sometimes because I love talking about science. Like, it's one of my favorite things. I'm a biologist, but I know I go very deep into the science sometimes. So.
Yeah, I think I've had people on that were like totally like science, and I just sit and listen because it's not me. And sometimes it's like whoosh whoosh, but that's okay because it's incredibly interesting. It's really interesting stuff and important if you like have a fur kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you want them to eat well. I'll get to the comments in a second. I want to know your take on the what am I going to call them? The meat that's coming from cells.
Oh yes, so this is also a controversial area, right? So we want to be a company that provides options for all of our customers. We know that some of our customers don't want anything to do with cell-based meat. They really want their pets to stay on a plant-based diet. We support that. I support that. I love that. But we know from surveys that have been done, about 30% of pet parents, 30, are open to a plant-based diet, but 70% of pet parents are not. And so, if you care deeply about all the animals, the environment, the next step is, okay, well, how do we, for those pet parents that will never accept a plant-based diet for their pets, how do we also provide healthy, sustainable, kind products for them? And so that's really what we're doing with the lab, the cell-based or lab-grown meat. We're providing more options, right? And so I know it's controversial. I know I've talked to a lot of pet parents who are like, they shouldn't feed meat. They should just feed plant-based. It's healthier. It's better. I agree with you, but let's focus on impact. How do we help those pet parents that will never feed plant-based? How do we help them make a kind, sustainable choice? And so we make great products that we can get behind and feel happy with. So yeah, that's my perspective. I know it's not perfect. I personally, I've had cell-based meat. I prefer plant-based diets personally, but I think it's a good option to have out there for people.
I think it's a great option for cat food.
I agree. By the way, I agree.
I mean, because even though there'll be cell-based meat, and like there are some people that are plant-based or vegan who miss meat, and they went in this direction for saving the animals, and not because they didn't like the taste or that they didn't have that desire. But that gives you the option to have that without harming the animals or the planet. Now, I'm kind of curious about your health because it's still meat. I don't know
I think that's ultimately, that's what it's still meat. So the same issues that we have, those of us that actually think plant-based is healthier, you're going to have the same issues as eating meat. So, but at least it's healthier. Well, at least it's more sustainable and kinder, right? Which I think, is a win from that perspective.
Oh, for sure. I mean, saving the planet, and like the cats. I know a lot of vegans who are like, bring it on, put it in the cat food, because I will feel way more comfortable feeding my cat the cell-based meat. Because one, it's not the crap. I mean, what goes into cat food, like you wouldn't eat it.
No, but Helena, I've looked at the FDA reports of what actually goes into dog and cat food, and I'm like, well, if only people knew, like, euthanized animals, maybe horses getting into dog and cat food. One FDA report even had roadkill. So literally, like, some of these rendering plants, like if there's meat, a deer that got hit on the side of the road, that goes into the rendering plant. It's not allowed, but some, the FDA has found that in the past. So it's just super gross.
Oh, incredibly. There's so much with the animal ag industry that's super, super, super gross. Even going to the fishing industry, I can go into that, and the bycatch from the fishing industry, because they catch more than just fish in those big huge nets that you can walk on. The bycatch, and a lot of people don't know this, the bycatch will end up in cows. Cows are vegetarians, so cows are eating fish.
It's quite, yeah.
It is because it's all money. Because if there's a way to make money off of something, oh wow, we killed these animals by fishing. So we don't just want to like throw them in the ocean or just dispose of them. We should dispose of them and make money off of it. So let's send it to the industry with cows, and let's feed it to and vegetarian. And probably a lot of people don't know that, but that's what happens.
Yeah. I mean, we even wrote the book on it, the Clean Pet Food Revolution. So we wanted to know this industry inside and out. And even at the last event we just had, it's just when you think about it, take a step back. Because I was talking with this gentleman who was like, oh, I feed my dog this bison formula. And I had Tarzan there with me, my golden retriever. And I'm like, could you picture Tarzan taking down a bison at any point in time? I don't see it, but or a tuna. You think he's gonna paddle and take down a 600-pound tuna? I don't think so. But you're right on the last point of Ryan. That's a pretty generous number, that 30%. When you look at the people like in the U.S., only about 3% are vegan, which now you want their fur baby to go vegan when they're not even. Yeah. So I'm glad that we're offering these options. And when you look at our kibble, it doesn't scream vegan. It just screams clean, complete protein, because that's what's going to attract the masses. And it's not going to be an overnight shift veganism. It's going to be a gradual like type of slope. And we're going to bring products to the folks so that they feel comfortable with it. So.
Yeah, and a great gateway for you are the treats. Yeah. The treats and the supplements are a great gateway because, like, oh, the food, maybe that doesn't work, but the treats, they all love them. All 3 flavors.
They're very easy. Yeah, they go down very easy. Like
they're really happy.
Pretty much without fail, right, Mike? Like we take them out to the events. The dogs love the treats immediately.
Having folks smell the treats really seals the deal after we tell them about Shark Tank and securing the deal with Mark Cuban. It's even at Broogaloo this past weekend, folks had been drinking a little bit. And this happens at normal events too, but it ramped up at Broogaloo because folks smelled it and they were like, all right. And they ate it right then and there. So
that is awesome. All right. So there's alcohol in Asheville. Just putting it out there. So let's see. Janice said that she loved the psyching the dogs out the oven trick. I'll try the pumpkin. Giving up on getting wet food shipped to me in cans because some always have come dented. Something to keep in mind in packaging plans. Yeah. That's true. And that's awesome. Thank you for that. And Keisha says hi. Hi, Keisha. Thanks for joining us. That's awesome. Yeah, you guys are so funny. It's great. Great tips. I mean, great company, clearly intelligence behind it, science behind it, which is should be important. Science should it should matter. So we believe in it here. So science does make a difference when you're formulating something to put into your bodies. Mm-hmm. Or into your fur kids' bodies. Just like your baby's body, you want to put the best of nutrition into that baby, which would be whole food plant-based, just saying. But you want to do that for your dogs and cats. And I'm really excited to hear that you're working on a cat formula because I've given my cats vegan cat food. Yeah, I've kind of intermixed it. They'll eat it. But one of my cats right now has lost a couple of teeth. She's my old lady. So that's why they get wet food every day, because she needs wet food.
It's tricky when they get older. We know we have a lot of, like, I would say seniors who are customers. And so, I know that the trick of like putting water into the kibble and making it just soft, like a mushy paste. That's what some of our pet parents do with food, but we're aware of that. And so we're looking at how do we make products for the seniors too, right? So first we're going to add some additional flavors, and then we're going to look at, especially for the seniors that have lost some or all of their teeth. I mean, they're adorable. They have no teeth, but they also have no teeth, so they can't do anything. And so we're really looking at like how can we make products for them too. So that that's a little further down the line, probably after cat, but we are looking at that.
Well, that's great. By the time you come out with that, my Franny won't have any teeth. So because she's got that little punched in face, she's Daphne's chin, and she's got weird ass teeth. So they're going to be gone. And she's going to be like tongue out, absolutely adorable. But,
adorable, but no teeth, right?
No,
No.
she's already lost teeth. She's like not even that old that you can see where the teeth were. They're staggered. Like it's the strangest thing. And there's like 3 layers. It's like really weird. But I know I'm going to have a toothless dog. A little 15-pound toothless dog.
we will all get there. We will all get there. So.
I hope we don't all go to toothless.
No, hopefully we all don't. No, hopefully we. I'm hoping to keep at least some of my teeth.
Well, that's awesome. Susan said she would definitely give them Wild Earth, such a wonderful conscious company. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susan. And by the way, we're always trying. So we love advice, thoughts. Feel free to send it either to Mike at Wild Earth, or Ryan at wildearth.com. We love hearing from everyone, from the community. And we're always looking for suggestions, right? We're always trying to be more conscious. Our bags, our supplements and our bags for our treats are now recyclable. They weren't at first because we couldn't find a supplier that had recyclable bags. But we're trying to find a recyclable solution for our dog food as well. It's a little more complicated with dog food because it has what's called 3-ply plastic to keep things, not too moist inside. But we're always looking for more sustainable options. So that's one thing that, we don't stop at just the food. We really care about the entire environment. And so ideally, we eventually have bags that are just compostable, right? You don't even have to recycle them, but that's a little bit of a journey still.
Yeah, you'll definitely get there because there are other companies that have gone to the compostable bag, which is super duper awesome.
I love that. I love that. We just have to make sure that they withstand our quality testing. That's one thing that's really important. For the worst thing we can do is ship a product and then the packaging's broken, and then the food or the treats or the supplements they're not good. They've gone off because the packaging's broken.
Oh, I know, compostable bag. It's like
it starts to compose before you receive it, and then it's like,
I got food. I don't have a bag. I have pieces of a bag in a box with food.
Exactly.
And,
that's hysterical. That's awesome. So just to jump back in, I just want to hear about Shark Tank, your experience, because I haven't heard it really from you. And for other people interested, I'd love to hear like you did it. I know that there was talk of other people going. You wanted someone else to go with you, and they were like, no, you go.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to get other people to come with me, and they really just wanted. Honestly, I think they wanted the crazy vegan up there, like pitching, plant-based dog food. And so I was like, but we have scientists, we have veterinarians, and they were like, no, we don't want anyone else coming. We don't want scientists. We want just you. And so, honestly, it was probably one of the scariest things I've ever done. And I pitched many times before. I've sold many times, but like going in front of really icons, right? Like, Mark Cuban was there, Mr. Wonderful, who I find hilarious, even though he can get a little nasty sometimes, right? Damon, who's amazing. Lori, right? Like, she's amazing. And then we had Matt, who was a guest shark as well. And so it was just like all of these icons. You don't see them until the doors open. You're live. Like, you're not live, but you're like, they won't stop the filming. So basically, if you fall on your face, they're going to film it because it's good TV. Right? And they're just like, it keeps rolling. So they warn you. They're like, don't stop. We're not going to do any retakes. And I was like, okay. So, you go there and it's like, you have your moment and you have your lines. And I think I did my lines, but it was almost like an out of body experience, right? You go there, you say your lines, and then suddenly you're in front of like the sharks and you're actually in front of them. And what they don't show on the screen is that actually it's not a room. It's a studio set. So there are people running around with like lights and microphone booms and you're pitching and the sharks are like talking over each other and there are people like moving cameras and stuff above you and you're like, wow, like it's just so much going on. And so it was just, the whole experience was honestly phenomenal. This was before COVID. So at the end, pitch to everyone. Mr. Wonderful was hilarious. Damien was funny. Lori was like, this is interesting, but I have no idea. Plant-based dog food, what is this? And then Mark got it immediately. We closed the deal and I was able to give Mark a hug at the end of closing the deal. And honestly, that was it. For me, I was like, that's it. Like, I gave Mark Cuban, we raised money for Mark Cuban. He gave me a hug. I'm done, right? I'm done. And it was just like, it was such a phenomenal experience because when, that was taped a couple of months before it aired. And we became a nationwide brand overnight. And one of the most important things was, people really do trust the companies that Mark Cuban backs. They know that he's really thoughtful. He thinks about things. If he sees a scam, on the show, he calls it out. He really cares about science. And so they put us through a bunch of scientific due diligence after we signed the deal to make sure we were real. Mark has been a supporter. I thought just raising money for Mark, that would be kind of the end. And we're in touch almost every week. And he's really supported us as we've scaled across the US. And so, now Wild Earth, I mean, we have over 40,000 customers in the US. We really are everywhere. You name it, we have customers in those cities. And one of the things that I'm most excited about is a lot of the work that Mike and the events team are doing. We're going out to the festivals and the events that, Vegfest, everyone's at, and being able to bring our product so people can see it, their dogs can taste the food, see if they like it. And it's just, it's been honestly a phenomenal journey. And one of the things that I'm just so excited about, and I know that Mark Cuban's very excited about that too. He's gone plant-ish based. Like, he still has a little bit of, stuff every once in a while, but he's kind of vegetarian too. And so it's great to see, and it's great to have someone that is, just such an icon, a business icon, really supporting us as we go through the inevitable challenges of building and scaling a company.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm not surprised that he invested in something he's going to follow through, even though, every week he's potentially investing in something, you're all like his children.
Yeah, exactly.
And he wants to see you grow and be successful because he has a vested interest in your success. So
he has a really funny firm though. Like, I just love the name of it. So it's called the Mark Cuban Companies. That's the name of his company that supports the companies he invested. So it's actually called the Mark Cuban Company. So the people that work at the Mark Cuban Companies team are just phenomenal, right? Like, we've worked with some great people. Q Harrison is one of the guys we've worked with over there. He's just phenomenal. He's really helped us a lot with marketing. So he has a whole infrastructure, but Mark is still very involved. And I'm like, it's kind of mind blowing to me, someone that has so much going on that still, has time for us. I mean, we're really small compared to like some of the businesses he's involved with, but he still makes time for us, which is really great.
It makes sense to me because I feel like if you were in his position, you would do the same.
100%.
Right? I mean, you make time. You come out into the community. You go on hikes. You attend as much as you can locally because we're all here in North Carolina and Raleigh-Durham.
Yeah.
And that's pretty awesome because people will recognize you. People will be like, "Wait, what?
Yeah.
Where do I know you from?" You can be like this. This, it's on my shirt.
The second or third time they see us. And here's the thing on the local side, the Triangle, we've done about 20 events so far. And that's equated to I just checked the numbers, 457 dogs that we've made a positive impact on. 457 people have given us a shot. And we're halfway through the season right now. We've still got all 3 of your big Vegfest coming up and another 28, I believe, events left on the calendar before end of the year. So we are going to dive deep into the Triangle, and then who knows, maybe you'll find this 6'7" in a Prius in a metro near you. So across the country. So we're going to do it, and we're going to put boots on the ground, and we're just going to go. So
exactly. So there you go. So this Sunday, Asheville Vegfest, Asheville, North Carolina. We open at 11 a.m. We go, what do we do? It's 7 hours. The event's 7 hours. We open at 10 or 11.
So much fun. It sounds like so much fun. Like, it's a shame. I wish I could be there. I know Mike's going to be there, but I just sounds like amazing fun.
You should come.
Yeah,
it's not that far.
It's not that far. You're right.
It's 3.5 hours.
not too far.
And it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
wherever Mike's staying, I guess you could stay.
Yeah.
There you go.
And Helene, my apologies. I need to get going, but it was
No,
great
thank you.
talking with you. Thank you, Mike, for setting this up. Thank you, Helene, for setting this up. Thank you, everyone that's listening, for giving us a shot. Whichever products you're feeding your pets, we hope that it's the healthiest and the best. We think all of the plant-based products are just phenomenal. And we're so happy to at least provide another option, which we think is great. But we're very excited about the entire ecosystem and how really a plant-based dog is becoming a thing. Hopefully soon, plant-based cats will also become a thing too. So
Thank you so much, Ryan.
thanks,
Thank
Helene.
you.
Okay,
Thanks,
great
Ryan.
talking with you both. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, Mike, thank you for popping in and being part of this, because the dynamic is clear that the relationship you have with him, he's the boss, but doesn't really feel like he's the boss. He feels like he's the boss and the friend, because he's a good guy. He's a
Absolutely.
great guy.
There
So,
are about 11 of us now in the triangle, and we are a tight-knit family. We're a Wild Earth family. We used to have a lot of things that we outsourced, but we've now brought everything in-house, because we know that there's not anyone who will work harder and be more passionate about Wild Earth than Wild Earth people. So when you bring in those folks and you look at that criteria, that's just so we're happy.
okay, you broke up, which sucks. You were saying something really good.
Am I good now?
You coming back, you're fussy. Isn't
How
it so
about
funny how you're fine and then it's not? That's live.
am I good now?
I can hear you. You're blurry, but I can hear you. Nope, can't hear you at all if you're talking. Well, I'll carry us through and bring us towards the end. Mike was saying something really profound. A great group of people work at Wild Earth. So when you buy their products and you're treating your fur kids with really a healthier diet for them, you're buying it from a company that you just saw the person who started it. They treat their employees really well. They pay them well too, and they clearly love one another. So I'm gonna throw Mike into Mike. Oh, there he is. He came back. He came back on his phone. I was closing this out.
The internet goes out, and I joined via cellular.
Well, I was just gonna say, I said that you all love one another. It's a great company, and that's, and when you buy from Wild Earth, that's what you're supporting. And that, for me, is a lot to do with why I spend money on certain things and I don't on others, is because I love when my funds go to something amazing and the people are incredible too. So that's my values, and I think that's a lot of people's values. So thank you for that. And I'm so glad that you're part of our community and part of Wild Earth too.
Yeah. No, likewise. You brought us in. We've done the Vegfest. I've met so many good connections through the hangout groups with you and everyone that you know, and that once you dive deeper into it, it becomes like, oh, everyone seems to know everybody. So
Yeah.
it really, really is great. One thing that I did want to bring up for Susan, though, on the chat, mentioning they don't have a dog. Not quite off the hook yet, because if you go on our website, if you really aligned with our mission and love what we're doing, there's a refer and earn section. So you can have your own custom link. We use FriendBuy. So yours would be Susan, like fbuy.com/Susan. And that way you can send your custom link out to all your friends who have dogs. They will get 60% off, which is our best deal. And you will, in return, get $60 in a virtual visa. So you can make quite a bit of money just sharing the word on a company that you are truly aligned with. So it's a true win-win.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. So you don't have to have a pet to make sure that people's pets are eating well.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
We
And
know
so
the power of word of mouth.
yeah, it's almost like it's almost like gifts for people, because it's not that much money. You can like set people up. You can set people up with the subscription by paying for it the first time, and then be like, "Do you
Yeah.
want it? To transfer it to you because I'm not going to continue paying for this."
So,
If-
so I've had a friend of mine who's very big on Instagram post their referral link to their story and got 10 referrals last week. That's $600 and they paid their rent with it. So you can do whatever you would like with that money. And so what's really nice is that that's a pretty high payout from most of any referral program. And for me, I know personally, anything that deals with Tarzan or my fur baby, I would write a blank check. So I give all my money to him. Everything I look to purchase, I'm like, would he approve? So, and it's a nice little give back for folks that really care about their pups, that we're going to help you out by helping us out and help us grow and spread awareness in our brand. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Is he coming with you when you leave?
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah.
is. Are you staying on the road? Or are you going back home?
So we will be Asheville, Nashville, Chattanooga in Airbnbs for a week each. And during times we're not at the Vegfest, we're just going to be hiking and being little nature bugs. So we're excited.
All right, awesome. Okay, cool. So we'll all be on the road. We'll be on the road for like 3 weeks. All right, that's awesome. Let us know when you want to do dinner.
Absolutely. That's the best part.
Okay. It's true. All right. Well, thank you, Mike. I'm glad you popped. I'm glad you joined this too, because that was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having us. It's always a pleasure. So,
all right. Have a good one. Okay.
bye.
Bye. Well, everyone, thank you once again for joining Virtual Vegfest Live. We go on a little hiatus because we're leaving to Asheville and then Nashville and then Chattanooga. We're super excited. And oh, there we go. Hey, Susan. I'll see you in all 3. Yes, you will. Susan will be at all the events, and so she's part of our team. So, taking a little hiatus for Virtual Vegfest Live because I may be on in next week-ish. I may be on Wednesday, but for the most part, Vegan Stew. The Vegan Stew is Wednesday at 7 p.m. Join us live for our juicy conversation and our stirring the pot. This week's episode is number 4. Laura is hosting, and we are going to talk about dating non-vegans. So that is, you can come right here and wherever you're watching, you can watch it because that will be shared if you're not watching on the Vegan Stew or the Vegan Stew YouTube. It's on Virtual Vegfest YouTube, wherever you like. So once again, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can enter a contest at virtualvegfest.com. We can see you in Asheville or Chattanooga for our in-person events. We're doing it safely. We're going to be wearing masks. If you're around people close enough to breathe their breath, you probably want to put a mask on. It's the safer thing to do. That's why we're wearing masks at our events, to make sure that we don't get sick, that the people who can't get vaccinated can't get sick, and the children who can't get vaccinated yet don't get sick. So we're all about community. We're about vaccinations. We're about masks. We're about science. We're about caring about other people and being kind. And that's my thing. So where are we at? Today is Tuesday. Oh, Wake Up and Yoga's back. So if you like yoga, 8 a.m. on Monday, Eastern Daylight Time, wake up and yoga with Kim. Piper Moon Yoga. Brand new. We brought it back. Super excited. And that's just for you. So you can start your week and your day, your Monday, with 30 minutes of yoga. Because everyone should do yoga. It's like everyone should get massages. Everyone should do yoga. We'd be a much kinder people if people did yoga and got massages. So that's it. I'm going to stop talking now. I will see you all on Sunday, hopefully. And if not, I will see you live on Wednesday. Actually, I'll see you live on Wednesday, then Sunday. I'll see you in person. Have a good one. Thanks. Bye.